Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Thursday, August 29th, around 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. It appears on the GFS model as if a strong hurricane may make landfall in the Gulf of Mexico in the second week of September. This is as 3 dead and over 80 hurt as Typhoon makes landfall in southwest Japan. And the big story, NASA confronts a 72% asteroid impact probability. Holy macaroni. Keep calm. It's boom time. Well, we didn't have that on our bingo card, did we? Montana ski area sees summer snow. Ho, ho, ho. Shut up, Al. Get in your hole. Al Gore is not happy with Whitefish Mountain Resort and Bridger Bowl ski areas giving Montana skiers a tease of snowy things to come. Since the National Weather Service winter weather advisory for Glacial National Park and the Mission Mountains went live yesterday, several mountain ski areas have seen fresh snow. Ho, ho, ho. All bets are off on how long the snow will stick around. It's still August, for goodness sakes. And in fact, Glacier National Park reopens today the Going to the Sun Road after sections were closed for that winter weather in the middle of summer. What a bummer. Here's Logan Pass in Montana yesterday, absolutely pummeled with the global warming goodness, and Al Gore is puzzled. If you follow us over on Facebook or on our X, you can get these daily updates live. Here's Libby, Montana. Snow-covered roads up in Libby at the Pizza Hut yesterday. How do you like them apples? And as hurricane season heats up, a tropical depression or storm could form in the Atlantic by early next week and affect the Lesser Antilles in the days to come. Here is disturbance number one with a 10% chance of cyclone formation over the next 48 hours. But the big story is a 50% chance over the next 7 days, and it's showing up in the models. This is at the same time as, well, Tropical Storm Gilma weakens to a tropical depression as it nears the islands to the north. And we're talking about Hawaii, the Hawaiian Islands. Not much effect from this tropical storm. Tropical Depression Gilma continues to weaken as it nears the Hawaiian Islands, with meteorologists predicting the storm will soon become post-tropical. So there could be some minor winds, tropical winds, and some rain from this, but nothing catastrophic. And let's take a quick look at the forecast for Gilma. Here is Gilma, as Hone has already made it past. Yes, so there we have really nothing to worry about. What we're worried about potentially is that storm hitting the Gulf in just a few weeks. So stay tuned for updates. As we take a quick look at the hail map for Wednesday, August 28th, my birthday, thank God I wasn't in North Dakota. 2,871 households impacted by hail, 1 inch or larger. 206 households impacted by gorilla hail. And the big winner chicken dinner was North Dakota. Say it ain't soda, but it is. And here's the full forecast. Severe thunderstorms and heavy rainfall in the Mississippi Valley and the Mid-Atlantic. Heat in Ohio and Tennessee valleys. Severe thunderstorms and flash flooding are possible across the upper Midwest and Central Plains, as well as the Mid-Atlantic. Throughout the day, there is an increased threat for heavy rain and flooding in the western Gulf Coast as well. Above average heat should persist through Friday in the Ohio and Tennessee valleys, with little relief overnight as the rest of the country is chilling into a fall feeling. And take a look at that tropical storm that we showed you at the onset. Could be developing as early as the first week of September in the Gulf here as it passes through Cuba and makes its way into the Gulf of Mexico, strengthens to Cat 2 or 3 on this model, and slams into, say it ain't soda, Mississippi. Yeah, right like that. Look at that. And Alabama at the same time. What a slammer. Alabama and Mississippi slammer. Now, this is early on in the model run, and things will change through the week, but something is definitely afoot because, well, we're showing you here the National Hurricane Center. Let's move it back here to the Atlantic. Is got a close eye on this. It's got an X on it with 50% chance in the next 7 days. And that's going to bring it through the Lesser Antilles. So if it does develop here, it's going to definitely increase in strength. This is the only area in the entire Atlantic with warm enough water to make a hurricane. So it needs to get over here, kids, because we are in La Nina, in case you missed the memo. And let's take a quick walk through there. The GFS model here is showing potential landfall around September 12th, which is going to definitely change as the models persist. So current GFS model showing quite a significant line of thunderstorm activity, as well as some thunderstorms moving through the Virginias in the next 3-6 hours. So overnight, as I'm speaking, we could see a pop-up here, potentially in Wisconsin, as well as Minnesota and northern Iowa there. And all that will be done by morning as most of the systems dissipate until mid-afternoon tomorrow, when that kicks up again. And, well, most of the precipitation is constrained to the East Coast. We do have an amazing severe weather threat coming up here maybe in a week or so. Take a look at that. That's pretty fantastic. Okay, everything froze up. Let's talk about actual typhoons, not hypothetical ones. Typhoon Shanshan. I hope I said that correctly. Pummels, Japan. Shanshan, Pummels, Japan. Can't say that enough because it rhymes right on time. Millions told to evacuate. Toyota, Nissan, and Honda and semiconductor firms all halted production due to Typhoon Shanshan. More than 200,000 households without power in 7 prefectures, and 5.2 million people issued evacuation notices across Japan. That's like the population of, well, lots of states in the U.S., like Rhode Island. Holy macaroni. Millions were ordered to evacuate their homes as Typhoon Shanshan lashed southern Japan. All that rhymes. That's insane. With strong winds and torrential rain on Thursday, knocking out power, snarling air traffic, and forcing major factories to close. All that is coming to a close as it moves across the island here. As you can see, the position going south to directly north in a straight beeline. Currently 3 dead and over 80 hurt as the typhoon made landfall in southwest Japan. Shanshan made landfall on Japan, can't say that enough, in southwestern main island of the Kyushu on Thursday, the weather agency said, bringing heavy rain, strong winds that left 80 people injured across the island, 7 prefectures, and 3 people dead. The Japan Meteorological Agency urged residents in affected areas to remain on high alert for natural disasters, puffing and passing, while public transport operators canceled trains and flights. And some homes were left without power as the storm advanced, as is usual due to these storms. Seismic update. We did have a huge rumbler I missed yesterday in El Salvador at 6.1 offshore at a depth of about 40 kilometers. I don't believe any major damage was done, but I really didn't look. So let's take a quick look. There it is. Good news. No immediate reports of injuries or damages on the street, and they're fear-mongering here. Some war footage, so we'll just get rid of that. Worldwide volcano news. For the 29th of August, Liwatobi volcano, 9,000-foot puff. Semaruda, 14,000-foot. Sabancaya, 22,000-foot puff. Amazing graphic here from somewhere in the Congo. Naimoragira. Lava flow eruption continues here, as you can see on this very low resolution, grainy thing. Fuego to 15,000 feet, Ducono to 8,000, Liwatobi to 9,000, Reventador 15,000-foot puff. White Island continues its uptick with low-level eruptions continuously. Ibu to 8,000 feet, Nevado de Ruiz 23,000-foot puff. Ducono to 8, Liwatobi to 9, Sangay to 19,000 feet, Samaru to 14,000 feet, Savagay to 22,000 feet, Fuego to 15,000 feet. Reventador, 14,000-foot puff. Ibu continues to puff to 8,000 feet. Sabancaya continues with intermittent eruptions. White Island, continuous low level. Popo to 20,000 foot makes the list. Semaru, who knew? Now you do 15,000-foot puff just moments ago. Ibu to 8. Sangay to 20,000. Liwatobi to 9. Holy macaroni. Wrapping up the list is Volcano for tomorrow. And that is worldwide volcano news for the day. Hey, hey. Now, if you missed it, an auroral substorm sparked stunning northern lights visible in mid-latitudes for my birthday. A small CME shooting off the sun days ago did make Earthfall yesterday during my birthday, and aurora chasers were treated to a dynamic and vivid northern lights display, albeit limited. Here, northern lights displayed viewed in Sutherland, Scotland on early hours of August 28th, 2024. And let's take a look at what that's all about. Yeah, that low-level storm is now off the charts, but we did get to upper KP5, approaching KP6. Nothing significant, and that event, ladies and gentlemen, is over. The visible sunspot disks showing, well, it's quite pathetic. A few large sunspots that haven't done anything are now moving off the limb here, and some minor sunspot groups are approaching. And so very little to worry about, as the 3-day geomagnetic forecast is showing all quiet on the western front. And sunspot numbers are dwindling. As we are still supposedly at solar max, nothing is happening. Now, guess what happened with NASA's DART Asteroid Crash mission? It really messed up the space rock target, and some of the debris may be headed to Earth. Yeah, this is just a fear-mongering headline. All of the debris are just tiny particles, and all of it will burn up even if it does hit Earth. So, absolutely a sharticle here. What's not a sharticle is NASA is now revealing a doomed comet has survived and may become visible to the naked eye. What comet are we talking about? Well, the comet named Comet C 2023A3 Typhoon Atlas was first discovered early in 2023 and has been zooming towards the inner solar system ever since. Now, despite fears it may have disintegrated, the comet is still intact and was spotted by NASA's Stereo A spacecraft from the far side of the sun. How fun. And soon it will continue to brighten steadily, now at magnitude 7. And researchers at the Lowell Observatory told spaceweather.com it could continue to display a very robust ion tail. And there are zero signs that this nucleus is disintegrating. Now, herein lies the problem. Mainstream academics tells these astrophysicists that a tail on a comet is signs that it's disintegrating and burning up. But Electric Universe, Plasma Universe, Thunderbolts Project people like ourselves know that it's nothing more than a negatively charged comet moving through a positively charged space, or the opposite. And that provides a plasma and ion tail, which creates the colors and the beautiful display. Now, some comets do break up as they move around the sun or thus and such, but the fact that there's a tail is not always a sign of a comet breaking up. It may be a sign of an electric comet. How do you like them apples? NASA confronts a 72% asteroid impact probability and a planetary defense test. Now, if you didn't know, every 2 years, NASA, well, they have a test. A planetary defense test against asteroid impacts. And these exercises incorporate realistic asteroid tracking data and emphasize international cooperation in emergency planning and asteroid deflection strategies, highlighted by recent successful tests such as DART, which are not that successful because some of the pieces are headed towards Earth. So this is all in the infancy of the deployment, but the possibility of us deflecting a life-ending object heading towards Earth is possible. The only problem is we've only tried it once, and the results showed us that some of the parts are going to hit Earth. So it was a success in the sense that it moved the object, but not a success in the fact that some of the shit is about to hit the fan. How do you like them apples? But the reality is that large objects hit Earth every few thousand years, which could be civilization-ending events. The only problem is we haven't had large enough civilizations like this, where a single impact, even a moderate one, will be catastrophic regardless of where it hits, even in the ocean. It's going to send catastrophic tsunamis basin-wide and kill everyone on the coasts. And so you can do the maths. With this many people on Earth, the next cosmic catastrophe will be the largest cosmic catastrophe ever before on Earth, ever, in the last 5 billion years since Earth was formed. The next cosmic catastrophe will kill more humans than any cosmic catastrophe ever. Let that sink in. Now, at the same time, we've got this data set. 200 meteorites on Earth have been traced back to Mars, and specifically to 5 craters. That means 5 times in the past, an object has hit Mars and sent objects to hit Earth. That's insane. And that's just a small fraction of all impactors on Earth. So the probability that Earth's going to be hit with a cosmic catastrophe in the near future is 100%. Just will it occur in your lifetime? That's the only question. Now, astronomers have traced the origin of 200 meteorites on Earth to just 5 impact craters in 2 volcanic regions on Mars, known as the Tharsis and the Elysium. All the links will be below. A disturbing object was unearthed in California's Mojave Desert, and it's mystifying the experts, and it's really creepy. Take a look at this fucking thing. It's like a steel casket with a SS symbol on the inside. So some people were in the desert and they slowly pulled out and unearthed a corroded metal box resembling a small casket. And when they flipped it open, holy macaroni, they saw 2 crimson runes emblazoned on the side that resembled one of the Nazi Party's most infamous symbols, 2 stark S's that looked like a pair of lightning bolts, commonly used in white supremacist groups. The runes are derived from Schutzstaffel, a paramilitary organization that operated under Adolf Hitler and thought of itself as the racial elites. Take a look at the object here. In August 2024, Harley Eaton and Connor Rudolph discovered a chest in California's Mojave Desert that mystified the experts. "Oh my God," one of the 2 friends could have been heard saying in a video as they pulled the chest out of the ground inside. It was full of dirt, along with some artificial flowers tied to a nail in the coffin. To date, they still don't know what it is exactly or who it once belonged to. Neither do the experts. I believe it to be just an elaborate hoax. The paint is too clean, the box is too weird, and lots of weird stuff is happening in the desert. Now let's move on to some real science. Take a look at this paper. Well, this is an article, Mysterious New Organism Found in Mono Lake. This is an acidic, cyanide-rich lake where no one can survive, but this could be a precursor to life on Earth when it was very toxic and very difficult here on the planet. And this could literally rewrite history of life. What we're looking at here is a 3D reconstruction of a spherical colony of 70 choanoflagellates from a newly named species, Baroecia monoceara. It was discovered in Mono Lake, and these colonies of these flagellate organisms consist of numerous identical cyanic cells in the blue, each with the orange flagella that allow them to propel themselves through the water. Now, what the unique thing is, in the center of the colony, they have a microbiome that they're using to pre-digest the food that the colony eats. This is literally the most groundbreaking discovery in all of biology and could be the missing link from single-celled organisms to complex animals like mammals. And this may be a precursor to a human stomach. Absolutely mind-blowing. What we learn every day. The amount of information is increasing every 24 hours to mind-boggling levels. And the stupidity as well is increasing in industry. The U.S. says Bioceres genetically modified wheat is safe to grow, even though it's slathered with the glyphosate and all of the poison toxins that are causing celiac disease, autism, retardation, and low levels of reproduction and testosterone. We're going to give it the go-ahead because wheat is in everything. And why not make the whole planet sick? Because we've already been successful in making 80% of the population sick. Let's just kill everybody. Well, actually, we don't want to kill them. We just want to make them sick so they get on pharmaceuticals so that we can profit for the rest of our lives because of the pharmaceutical agricultural complex that we're all living in. Absolutely disgusting. I blew the lid off this in 2011 with the March Against Monsanto, organizing one of the biggest marches in world history worldwide in 2011, where we had over 40 million people marching against a multinational corporation, which shortly changed their name to Bayer. It all got buried under the rug. Did you know that when we had 40 million people marching, only one independent newspaper covered it? Yeah. That's because we didn't have the internet. Could you imagine if the internet was like it was today, 13 years ago? Holy macaroni. We would have made a much bigger difference much earlier. So if you didn't get the memo, everything in the supermarket, everything, including organic produce and all the produce, is covered in toxic chemicals, up to 200 or more on a single inorganic apple. Chemicals could be on the surface of the flesh. Absolutely disgusting. If you're not wild harvesting or growing your own food, you're not getting muscles like this when you're 53, and you certainly aren't fighting the multinational corporations, which are out there to kill you. You know how you fight the cabal? You grow your own fucking food, and you do it now. You learn how to fail early so you can survive and thrive in the future. The cheapest place to get your seeds, which you only have to buy once because you can seed save year after year and make your own land race and never have to pay for seeds ever again. And guess what? Lee and I will teach you all that at the Crestone Energy Fair. But first, you got to run over to the Alliance of Native Seed Keepers, buy some seeds, some flowers, some plants, some herbs, things you want to eat, not what you think you're going to eat. Only buy stuff you already eat, like basil and squash or carrots. Get those seeds because you're going to want to eat stuff that you actually want to eat in the future. And even if the world doesn't collapse or the grid doesn't fail, the food supply is toxic. It's been tainted for decades. It's why we have a rise in autism and everyone is sick and on some kind of medication, except me. I've been sick in over a decade. I don't go to the doctor. I will never have a general, who's your GP? I don't go to the doctor. I eat food and I'm healthy because I grow it myself. And they just don't get that. And most of the population doesn't get it at all, except those coming to the Crestone Energy Fair for the last 35 years. They all get it, which is why they keep coming and it keeps growing. September 14th to 15th, Rooting Forward is the theme, and Lee and I will be there on the main stage field where we're going to be doing a workshop Saturday and Sunday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. on saving seeds, which will save your fucking life. Seed saving permaculture workshop Saturday and Sunday in the main stage forest where the tents are. You will find Diamond and Leah, well, talking about saving seeds, and we're going to be giving you all the seeds you save that weekend for free, just like we give everything out for free. Because Without sharing, there is no caring. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share the video. We love each and every one of you. Become a Patreon, support the work we do, and be safe. We'll see you all in Crestone in just 2 weeks. And that's a boom.